Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be presenting today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we would like to give a shout out thanking our patrons. All tips and support are greatly appreciated. It's going to go towards making the channel better and adding more games. If you're interested, please check the description of this video for more information. And for today, we are going to go over what to do when you come up to the table and there is already a point. We're going to start with, let's say the point is 10. And you have two options when you come up and you want to join the game. Well, honestly, you've got 100 different options, but we're going to just go with the two main things. How do you bet on the 10? How do you bet on the point? How do you bet with the shooter, as so many people want to put it? Well, you could just come in and do a pass line bet and some odds. You absolutely could do that. I mean, why not? You're allowed to. What else could you do? You could come in and place the point on the line. It's called placing the point on the line. It's just like doing a place bet up here. That bet is the absolute equivalent of that bet right there. Same thing. So which one should I do, you may be asking? Well, let's go over some of the differences and let's see which one would actually be more beneficial to you. First problem I see is as soon as the dice have rolled after you've placed this bet right here is now locked in. You cannot take it back. It is absolutely locked in. It's a contract bet, cannot go anywhere until a decision has been made, win or lose. This bet you could take up, take down anytime you like. This bet right there, same thing. You could take it up, take it down anytime you like. So there's one difference. Difference number two, how do they pay? Well, let's take a look. So we're going to take a look at this under three different conditions for each one of these possible bets. We're going to go with strip odds of 3, 4, 5. We're going to go with 10 times odds. We're going to go with 20 times odds. There are some places with 100 times odds, 5 times odds, stuff like that. But for the most part, those three are the most common ones you're going to see on strip and off strip. And those will suffice as far as a difference between these. So let's take a look. Take a look at this. So on the 10, 3 times odds is your maximum odds that you were allowed to do. That would be a total of $20 in action. So let's compare that with a $20 place bet. How does this pay? Well, we're on the 10. So 15 pays 30 plus that 5 is going to pay a total of 35, okay? It would be 30 there plus 5 there. So this is going to pay a total of $35. How is this going to pay? Well, it's going to pay one of two different ways depending on what the point not what the point is, but on what the casino's policy is on this. Some casinos, this is going to be a standard place bet, in which case that 20 is going to pay $36. Other casinos, that 20 is going to be a buy already, at which point it is going to pay $39. So, regardless of which one these are, 36 or 39 is more than 35. And you have more control over this bet. So under a 3 times table, or under a 3, 4, 5 odds, if the point is 4 or 10, you're absolutely better off placing the point on the line instead of putting the point with odds. What about if it's 10 times odds, you ask? Or maybe you didn't ask, but I'm asking. Well, let's take a look. So if it's 10 times odds, that $5 now gives you $50 in odds. So to have an equivalent amount down, we'll do 55. Okay? You got 55 in action either way. So if a winner comes, that is going to pay $105. 100 in the back, 5 in the front. So this will pay $105. So what about this one? Well, this is definitely going to be a buy regardless of any casino that you may be at. So 55 is going to be a buy, which means that they're going to charge a VIG. That's going to charge a $3 VIG. So we're going to double that bet and subtract the $3. So 55 doubled is 110. Subtract the $3, we're at $107. $107. So if you're in a 10 times odds place and the point is 4 or 10, you are absolutely better off placing the point than you are putting the point on the line with odds. So what if we are at a 20 times odds place, you may be asking. Now you can do 100 in odds on that $5 bet. What does it pay? Well, you should already know this one. It's going to pay 200 back there, 5 up here. So it's going to pay $205. If they were to place the same amount, it's going to depend on where you're at on their policy on whether this is a $5 VIG or a $6 VIG. It's going to depend. Okay? If they only charge you $5, if they're going to eat the VIG on the $5, on the 5 above the 100, then that is going to pay $205. I'm going to double it minus the 5. If you are on someplace, if you're at someplace that charges a $6 VIG on that, then it's going to pay $204. So, at a 20 times odds house, it is the absolute same, placing it versus putting it with odds. If they charge $5 VIG on this, if they charge a $6 VIG, then it pays you $1 less placing it than putting it with odds. I'll let you draw your own conclusions on which one you would rather do. We're going to move on to the next number. What if the point is a 5 or a 9? Well, under 3, 4, 5 odds, we were able to do $20. $20 in odds. That would be $25 in total action, right? So we'll place it for 25. Now let's see what these pay. Well, that 20 back there is going to pay 30 plus $5 up front. It's going to pay 35. What does a $25 place bet pay? 35. Huh, look at that. Absolutely identical. So it makes no difference either way, except you have more control over this bet. All right. What about 10 times odds, you may ask? That's a good question. Let's see. So, this is going to pay you 75 plus 5. That is going to pay you 77. Okay, so we are at 80 versus 77. Well, if you're at a 10 times odds house, it is more beneficial to you to put the bet with odds than it is to place the bet. But only if you were doing max odds. If you were not doing max odds, it's going to be a wash either way. If you're at a 3, 4, 5 table, it's going to be the same either way, depending on what you want to do. It makes no difference. Which means that if we are at a 20 times house, we're going to get a similar result. 100 in the back is going to pay 150 plus the 5 right here. So this is going to pay 155. Over there is going to pay 147. $155 versus 147, 155, 147, $8 difference. So if you're at a 20 times odds, it is an $8 difference putting the point versus placing it, putting it with odds. But again, only if you were doing max odds. If you were not the type of player to do max odds, if you're only going to do double, 3, maybe 4 times odds, you were going to get the same payout on the pass line as you were doing it this way, only you have more control over this bet right here. This one is locked in, you have no choice, it must stay. How's about the 6 and 8, you may ask? That's an excellent question. Why don't we see if we can figure it out? Some of you guys may notice some similarities between this and come bets versus place bets. That's because come bets are pass line bets. That's exactly what they are. So if you've watched the previous video on come bets versus place bets, then you already know how this is going to turn out. So 3, 4, 5 means we get 5 odds, 25 odds right there. 25 pays 30 plus the 5 of the flat bet means a total of $35. $30 in action over there as a place bet. pays $35. Look at that. They're identical, only you have more control over here. So again, up to you what you want to do. And I know what you're thinking. What if it's a 10 times odds place? Well, let's find out. This is where we would get into improper place bets. This would pay $65. This right here, if you were to place it, would pay $64. So when you're in a 10 times odds house, it is now more beneficial for you to put it with max odds than to place it by $1 whole dollar. Up to you what you want to do. Again, this only matters if you are doing max odds. If you're not doing max odds, it makes more sense to place the point on the line. And I know what you're thinking. What about 20 times odds? All right, you're probably not thinking that, but I am, so we're going to go ahead and do it just because. What does this pay? It pays $120 in the back plus the 5 up there. It's going to pay $125. What does 105 pay? $122. $3 less. $3 less to place the point on the line versus putting it with max odds at 20 times. Again, only if you do max odds. If you don't do max odds, then more often than not, it's going to be more beneficial or the same for you to place the point. So, that is analysis of putting the point with max odds versus placing the point on the line if you're joining the table after there is already a point marked. I hope this helps you guys make your decisions or possibly modify how you play, make new decisions, new strategies, different ideas. And that would be it for today's episode. So thank you very much for joining us. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we will catch you next time.